Welcome back to YogaSteady Studio, an original hot yoga podcast where we explore the deeper meaning behind the repetition, the ritual, and the real work of teaching and practicing Bikram yoga. I'm Jennifer Rochelle, and today we're taking inspiration from an unexpected source, the 2025 Eurovision Song Contest, which wrapped up this past Saturday in Basel, Switzerland. Austria took the crown this year thanks to a stunning performance by Johannes Peach, known as JJ, a 24-year-old Philippine-Austrian countertenor who delivered a techno-operatic ballad called Wasted Love. The moment was powerful, a queer artist blending classical tradition with electronic innovation, standing on a stage, watched by millions and holding space for something deeply human, heartbreak, hope, and transformation. And as I watched it unfold, I thought, this is yoga. Not the postures necessarily, but the process, the precision, the presence, the way repetition becomes devotion. So, in today's episode, we're going to reflect on Eurovision, performance, and what it means to create a shared experience, whether on stage in sequence or on a mat in silence. So, let's talk about what actually happened at Eurovision this year. The 2025 contest took place in Basel, Switzerland. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And it was everything Eurovision is known for: glamorous, political, emotional, and unforgettable. The winner, a 24-year-old Filipino-Austrian countertenor named JJ, short for Johannes Peach, representing Austria. His song, Wasted Love, fused classical opera vocals with modern electronic beats. It was vulnerable, technically precise, and completely captivating. But JJ's win was about more than talent. He is the first Filipino heritage winner in Eurovision history. He's a queer artist, and his performance stood as a spiritual statement, offering beauty and boldness in a world that still asks some people to shrink. There was also controversy. Israel's participation amid the ongoing war in Gaza led to protests and heated debate. Their artist, Yuval Raphael, ultimately came in second with a ballad called New Day Will Rise. So what does this have to do with yoga? Everything? Because Eurovision, like yoga, is a space where practice meets performance. Their artists rehearse for months, often years. They know every breath, every cue, every line, and yet, in the moment, they must let go. They must be present. Just like us. We memorize the dialogue, we drill postures, and then we show up, ready to hold the room, speak from memory, and make it feel alive for every student in front of us. And that's what struck me most this year watching Eurovision: the sacredness of rehearsal, the beauty of discipline, and the invitation for every teacher, every artist, and every student to step into the fullness of who they are without apology. Watching JJ's performance got me thinking about something I've believed for years, but don't often get to say out loud. Teaching yoga is a performance. Not in a fake way, not in a look at me way, but in the way that sacred rituals are performed. We step into a room, we take our place, we prepare our voice, and we offer something memorized, not just so it can be repeated, but so it can come alive. Just like the Eurovision artists, we train ourselves to say the same words again and again until they flow like breath. That's what the dialogue is. It's not necessarily a script to control you. It's a structure that holds you while you bring your presence forward. And when it's done, well, it creates connection. You, the teacher, stand steady in the heat, delivering postures that are the same every time, but never feel the same. That's performance. That's prayer. That's practice. JJ didn't win Eurovision because he was flashy. He won because he was present, because his precision made room for emotion. And that's exactly what I want to remind you of in your teaching and practicing. Your words, when practiced with intention, create space. Your structure makes meaning possible. You're not just reciting, you're serving. So, as always, we're going to bring it back to the dialogue. This week, let's talk about standing bow pulling pose, or as I like to refer to it as the most Instagram posture in the hot yoga world. I mean, if I had $1 for every time I saw it on my feed, I could probably buy a small island. But beyond the social media allure, standing bow is a fascinating blend of performance and discipline. Interestingly, this pose doesn't have ancient roots in traditional yoga texts. Research suggests that standing bow pulling pose is a modern adaptation evolving from the Lord of the Dance, which itself emerged in the mid 20th century. The evolution of these poses reflects a fusion of yoga with elements from Indian dance, contortion, and gymnastics. In the hot room, standing bow is where students become performers. It's a posture that demands balance, strength, and grace, all while maintaining composure in the heat. So let's take a look at the dialogue. Standing bow pulling pose, Dandayamana Dhanurasana. Bring your right hand out, palm facing up, elbow touching your body. Say, Mama, give me money. You're holding the money in your hand. Bring your hand out to the right. Don't turn your hand. Don't drop the money. Grab your right foot behind you, palm facing up. Hold from the inside at the ankle, 5 fingers together. Nice and tight grip. Don't lose the grip. Left arm up in front of you, chin close to the shoulder. Concentrate one point on your left knee in the mirror, left leg locked throughout the posture. Bring your knees together to start. Inhale, breathing. Charge your body forward towards the mirror. Try to touch the mirror. Simultaneously, kick your right leg back and up towards the ceiling. Bring your body down from the lower spine until your abdomen and chest are parallel to the floor. Continuously keep kicking your right leg up as hard as possible. Your right foot should be coming over the top of your head in the mirror. Both feet should be in one line from the side. Kick back so your right shoulder is behind your left shoulder, invisible in the front mirror. Stretch your left fingertips forward towards the mirror. Try to touch the mirror. Try to touch your shoulder to your chin. Shoulder blade scapula coming out of the body. In other words, your 2 shoulders should be in one line. Kicking and stretching should be equal and simultaneous, 50-50. If you lose the balance, you're not kicking hard enough. Body down more. Stretch forward more. Try to touch the mirror. Kick back more. Kick harder. The harder you kick, you can balance forever. Body down and kick up one more time. Change. Come up. Other side. What I love about this posture, each cue is precise, almost choreographed, reminding us that teaching is performance rooted in deep practice. So, the next time you find yourself in standing bow, embrace the performance. Let the structure of the dialogue support you and allow your practice to be both disciplined and an expression of yourself. Again, after I read the entire dialogue from a posture, I become overwhelmed with how much there is really to unpack, from look in the mirror or stretch forward and try to touch the mirror. Things like that remind me of performance and what make me think that Bikram yoga is different than any other kind of yoga. The use of the mirror, the focus on the instructions of using the mirror to look in the mirror, to use the mirror to help you guide your precision in the posture. And then in addition to that, I'm always drawn to this one line, particularly in this posture. If you lose the balance, you're not kicking hard enough, because I hear teachers say all the time, if you're losing the balance, you're not kicking hard enough. And I will tell you, for me, if I'm losing the balance, then I'm in the asana. I'm almost always on the edge of falling out of that asana and constantly just trying to figure out through the dialogue how to stay in it. So if I lose the balance, if I actually fall out, then it means that I wasn't kicking hard enough. So I go right back to that. This posture is driven by the kick. You've got to kick and kick and kick constantly in this asana until it's over. So if the teacher tells you if you're losing the balance, you're not kicking hard enough, maybe you'll remember from this podcast. It's not necessarily true. Everybody's different. I get that. But if you're losing the balance, that means you're in the asana and you're on the verge of falling out, which means some change is happening. Something magical is happening when you are on the verge of falling out in this posture. So if you lose the balance, get right back in. If you're losing the balance, that means you're in the asana. So kick harder. Okay, everybody, let's get back to the podcast. Standing bow pulling pose might be the most photographed posture in yoga, but its beauty doesn't come from the perfect picture. It comes from the thousands of times someone falls out of it and still gets back in. That's the truth of both yoga and performance. It's easy to romanticize the final moment, the balance, the bow, the standing ovation, but the meaning is made in the repetition, in the quiet hours, in the discipline. Watching JJ win Eurovision this week wasn't just inspiring because of his talent. It was inspiring because you could feel the work behind it, the steadiness, the devotion. And it reminded me of what we do in the hot room. We hold space for people to transform, not by constantly changing what we teach, but by refining how we deliver it over and over again. You don't have to be perfect to create something powerful. You just have to show up with presence. And as teachers, that's our responsibility to repeat what works, to trust the structure, and to let the form become a mirror. Because when we say the same words week after week and still find something new in them, that helps us avoid burnout and it becomes an awakening. So, whether you're stepping onto a stage or into a hot room this week, know that you are not just delivering a performance. You are creating a moment. You are performing a ritual, and you are not alone in it. If this episode resonated, please like and subscribe and consider sharing it with others. Before I go, I want to acknowledge a few resources that help shape this week's episode. Eurovision 2025 results and background from Eurovision.tv, the AP News, and Times of Israel. Historical context on standing bow pulling pose from goshyoga.org, including its ties to Swedish gymnastics and modern posture evolution. You can find the links to all these resources and more in the show notes. If you're ready to explore mentorship, training, or teaching with me, visit www.bikramyogasteady.com, or you can find me on most social media platforms at YogaSteady Studio. Thanks for listening. I'm so happy we get to keep showing up for this work together. Until then, stay steady, stay sincere, and if you do fall out of standing bow, maybe remember that it's all part of your life's choreography. I'll be back next week to talk about water, specifically the viral video posted by stay-at-home daughter on TikTok in early April. I can't wait to talk about why someone said they got yelled at for drinking water in a hot yoga class, and why that one viral video says a lot about how the world sees discipline and how we hold space, or don't, for all experiences. You're not going to want to miss this one.